Yobo, welcome to another episode of In the Life of MightyFan, and we got Palooza here. It's been a series of items that I've gotten over the past, I bet about a month and a half, maybe close to 2 months. The stuff that's already opened is down in the man cave area, so we'll move down there after this. But Slim remembers this package Palooza here. Stuff has been coming in the past week or so. Didn't get a chance to open some of it yet, and I must admit I'm going to cheat a little bit because one of these items, and I don't know exactly what package it's in. I think I know, but one of these items is a hockey jersey, and I normally save the hockey jersey and hockey products for the Into Life Ice series. But we're gonna cross the streams, which is always dangerous. But we're gonna cross the streams, and we're gonna show one hockey jersey in this video because I'm opening up packages as it is. Might as well, right? So just this one time only, we will we'll cheat a bit and we'll do a hockey jersey with all the other stuff. So let's get right to it. So this was a Fanatic Steel. This I already opened, just didn't take it out of the package. This past season's City Edition that I'm a big fan of. The white version of the Spectrum Edition jersey. This was on clearance, and I think it was a sale on top of it because Fanatics was doing like 25% off clearance items plus some other items. So this was pretty cheap. And of course, I deal with the tissue paper inside, but you know, it is what it is. The lovely tissue paper. That's all over it. I know it's for protective purposes, but I'm never a fan of the tissue paper. Anyhow, here it is. The Mad Max City Edition white Spectrum themed jersey for the Sixers. You've seen this before. This is my third. I have the Embiid in an authentic, and then I have McCain and now Maxey. So we got the trifecta for the Spectrum City Edition 24-25 for the Sixers. And of course, the last one they did some years ago during the 75th anniversary of the NBA was navy blue. So they brought it back. And I really wish that they would just keep this as like their statement jersey, because it's a beautiful jersey. Whether it's white, whether it's navy blue, if they want to do a red one with the Spectrum theme, I just think they need to keep this as a permanent fixture. But, you know, it is what it is. They don't listen to me. If they did, they may have won a championship or two by now in my lifetime. But, you know, it is what it is. Outside of the 82-83 Sixers. When I'm older enough where I can actually remember them winning, that would be nice. Just saying. Anyhow, we're moving along. Yes, Mikal Bridges would have never been traded on draft night. And they would have drafted Paul Pierce many years ago. They don't listen to me. But anyhow, moving along. All right, now we'll get the packages that I actually have to open. Let's go to this guy. Oh, this one's already open. I haven't exactly taken the jerseys out because I left it this way to show it in the video. So this is from one of our jersey heads in the groups on Facebook, Mr. Matt Moon. So shout out to Matt Moon, not to be confused with Jackie Moon. But anyhow, let's see if I can make this shot. Oh, Curry! Oh, Slim, I'm ready for the pool. Anyhow, the somebody lucky shot. Anyhow, so I got these two. He was basically blowing some stuff out in his collection, and I took advantage. couple NBA Authentics. This one's brand spanking new from this season. The Phoenix Suns City Edition, which basically looks like the All-Star jersey from the 90s. Kind of has that vibe to it. You might remember that, or may have seen that Mitchell and Ness over the years made the Shaq and the Scottie Pippen and the Dan Marley, and they made swings of some other players. I forget exactly who. I think they did make a couple swings. I know Adidas did a swing of Larry Johnson, and there may have been a few others, but so they kind of brought that look back a little bit in a sort of way for their City Edition, so they kind of paid homage to that All-Star look, which was a really cool look. Here's the authentic. Devin Booker is your player. Didn't have a Booker jersey in the collection yet, so figured, I have a bunch of KDs, and I would have gotten a KD in this, but, who am I fooling? If I find one cheap enough, I might still get a KD, because I really love this design. But this is an authentic Booker. Nike. It says Phoenix Suns on the bottom. Over the jock. Hit you with the jock tag. There it is. And I've certainly become more of a fan of the authentics over the years. I'll still get my swings. We all know that. I just showed one, right? But where I can get an authentic in a good deal, and I do think that retail price is fair for Nike for these. Certainly more fair than baseball. I'm just saying. But but the Nike authentic basketball runs about, $200, maybe a little more depending on where you get them. And then when you hit sales, you get it much cheaper, and that's not bad at all. I've gotten some really good deals on authentics, particularly for the Sixers. When Fanatics throws a deal out there, I think they just had a deal where the authentics were $99. I didn't take advantage of that, but I did take advantage of Mr. Moon's sale, which was basically the same. But yeah, Devin Booker City Edition 24-25, the ode to the All-Star game from the 90s, I call it. Even has the same kind of side trim. I don't have a hanger down here, so I have to hold it with my hands, but we work with what we have. And the second jersey in here is, oh look, more tissue. But Matt must be learning from Fanatics. Tell you what, now I gotta bend down. This isn't good. Oh, damn it. Oh. Slim? Huh? Curry. I'm not going to say what happened there. I'm 50%. I'm 1 for 2. The counter took it. Seems like that's more like it. Anyhow, we have another authentic here. This is the statement edition for the Denver Nuggets prior to their championship, because it doesn't have the champ stamp on the back. But we have the Jamal Murray, Mile High City, with the ad sponsor there. What's that? Western Union. Jordan, of course. Jordan brand. The Jumpman logo. Beautiful jersey. I love that royal blue. There's the back. See, this is prior to them winning, so it doesn't have the gold logo on the back, but that's okay. Otherwise, it would have the Larry O'Brien with a 1 on the back, because they won their first title a few years ago. But yeah, Jamal Murray, statement edition, the alternate jersey, which is my favorite of their current set. There's the particulars. Cool stuff right here. Very nice, well-designed jersey. So there you go. All right, Slim. All right. Still getting a chuckle of that miss, are you? Huh? All right, let's see. This is for the winner right here, so I'm 50%. Let's see here. 2 out of 3, huh? Huh? Kobe. Slam. Hang on, let me make sure it went in. I'm pretty sure it did. Yep. Right in there. 2 out of 3. So anyhow, when it comes to trash can basketball, you don't want none, Slim. Anyhow, let's go to this one. And this is the latest from Mr. Moon. Got another jersey from him. He was blowing out. Finger roll, Iceman. All right, so this is the this is a Mitchell & Ness swing, and I have the authentic of this that they made years ago, but they got it a little incorrect because in the swing they did it more correct with the trim, because in the original authentic they didn't put the green in the trim. So then they fixed that in the Swingman. I don't know. They like see things in the Swingman that they don't see in authentics. But here's the Pistol Pete New Orleans Jazz. And see this layer of green? It's not in the authentic. On the authentic, it just has the yellow. But there's that layer of green. The one I kind of wish I did get and I didn't was the white version of this, number 44. So I have all the other pistols that they've ever made. Sans that one. And even though it's a swing, it's like, you know, me being a completist, I do kind of want it. With Swingman, it's like, oh, maybe because I'm not a hater of Swingman, as we know, but maybe because it's a Swingman, sometimes I kind of, you know, slow roll them a little more, and some of them sell out a little quicker than, you know, you would expect. And that white pistol in this, and I probably should have moved on it a little sooner. Well, maybe someday they'll get it, or maybe I'll find it on a secondary market like eBay or Poshmark or Mercari or something. But or another collector will be selling it, because this one I had my eye on, and it was gone before I could really make a move. But thanks to Mr. Moon, I now own it as part of the collection. There's the particular 74-75 Pete Maravich, Pistol Pete, the away New Orleans Jazz, and like I said, they made the home version, and I still want to get it. I'll have to recheck the site. Maybe they got more in stock, but I would like to get it just to complete the set, because I'm crazy like that. And I also want a purple number 7, which I know they haven't made. They made the white one. They never made the purple. I've seen the purple because I think Adidas made it as part of their Hardwood Classics collection many years ago, or maybe if I can get custom done. We'll see. There's options. You know, there's options out there, so we'll see. All right. So thank you to Mr. Moon for those 3 lovely additions to the collection. And I think this is hockey, so I'm going to save this for the last opening. Okay, let's go to this box next. This box looks kind of intriguing. It's a eBay box. Post USPS eBay tape. And I believe this is a hat. I mean, it should be in a box like this. I have gotten hats in bags, which is never good. If you ever ship a hat, do not ship it in a bag. Ship it in a box. Hats are meant to be shipped in boxes, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay, so this was a Poshmark pickup. And I got it for a specific reason. Well, 2 reasons. A, it's just a hot-looking hat. And B, I got something else, which just arrived today. It's kind of surprising, because it came real quick. This is the Reading Phillies, or Reading Fightin' Phils, depending on what you want to call it, from the era. They were the Reading Phillies, and they rebranded to the Reading Fightin' Phils. I believe that's what this is, a Reading Fightin' Phils hat. It's got the kind of the Phillies old school interleague colorway going with the 2-tone. Because the Phillies wore a special interleague hat many years ago that was just like this, although it had the P and had a star inside the circle of the P. That was their interleague hat. You've seen it, you know. If you know hats, you know what I'm talking about. Basically the same thing, only with the Phillies. And then this one has a side patch for the 50th anniversary of their of them being the minor league affiliate to the Phillies, which wasn't that long ago, some years ago. So here's the hat right there, and that's cool. So again, this was a Poshmark pickup. All right, let's open this big box. I don't even know what's in this big box. I think it might be Fanatics. But I could be mistaken. Yeah, it's Fanatics. Even had, oh, okay, that's right. There were 2 items. That's right. Now that I'm remembering, I did forget to bring a couple things down from upstairs. This hat reminded me of that. Oh, look, another box. Wonderful. So I have a pile of boxes that I still have to throw away. I'll show this second item in a little bit. Put it with the other hat over here. So I think I showed this before. Mitchell & Ness has gotten these new bags in recently, and they're kind of cool. They're reusable. They're like Ziploc bags, kind of. And here comes the jersey. I know the Bay Area guys are going to like this one. Another swing, but still a cool one. I actually forgot about this one, to be honest. And then this was part of the deal that Fanatics was having. So this one wasn't clearance, but it was percentage off. I got this in another Swingman that's downstairs. So we got the Hardwood Classics, the Baron right here. Basically Hardwood Classics road jersey, the cable car. Baron Davis. Really, really nice. Love the cable car. It's still my favorite Warriors jersey. There it is. Davis number 5. Mr. Dunk over AK-47 back in the day. Not in this one, but in the more regular We Believe, jersey. The regular jersey from that time. 04-05 Baron Davis. Right there, all the particulars. And to be honest, like I said, I forgot they made this. And then I saw it on Fanatics. I was like looking at their swings because I knew they were part of the sale. And I saw this, and it was very few left in my size. So I'm like, I better grab it. Beautiful jersey. Like I said, I am a big fan of the cable cars. So any cable cars I can get. How many cable cars do I need? Yeah. I still need some more. I still want the blue version of the J. Rich that Mitchell & Ness made recently. Basically the same jersey, only for Richardson. I really do like these bags. These are nice. These Mitchell & Ness bags. They're purty, as Slim would say. Okay. I really want to run up and grab those other jerseys, but first I'm going to finish the packages, and then you must excuse me because we're live, but I'm going to run upstairs and I'm going to grab these other jerseys that I got from Team Dunk as part of his Father's Day sale in the groups. So shout out to Team Dunk. But I'm going to open up this next box, which was a little tough, but we got it open. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, there's a box in the box. Whew, honors and privilege. Looks another box. You know your jersey head when you got boxes and boxes piled up that you gotta throw away. And the box contains a box, but the item's in the box. So Funko recently was having a pretty good sale, like a clearance event, just blowing out stuff, and I didn't have this as part of my collection yet. So, Wilt in the 100-point game. See him holding up the 100 there. The Big Dipper. Wilt Chamberlain. So it's Philadelphia theme related. I know obviously the Warriors moved to the West Coast, but yes, boys and girls, they were the Philadelphia Warriors. That's where they started, and that's where Wilt scored his 100 points at Hershey Arena against the New York Knicks way back when. And there's that famous picture of him holding up the 100 that it was either the broadcaster or a writer gave him to hold up for the picture at the time. And there he is. And a jersey that I own thanks to Slim. You'll see that in the future. So there it is. The home Warriors jersey. And there it is. Funko Pop of Wilt scoring after he scored his 100 points. A mark that still hasn't been beaten. Kobe came close with the 81. I guess that's more the modern day, record. But Wilt, that 100. And the way they score in the NBA anymore, I'm sure it will be beaten at some point. Because it is a scoring league, believe me. So that record might fall at some point. And yes, boys and girls, what do we do with the box? Ooh, that landed right perfectly. Oh, Slim. Oh, you're in trouble in that pool. That's all I'm saying. Let's see if I can. All right, I want this to go over here. That didn't work. Okay, so now we're gonna move to the. Slim's like, oh, I got your game. I'm glad that was off camera. Although it may have actually it may have been on camera. The ceiling got in the way. Damn it! I had too much arc on it. Too much. Ugh. Slim's like, you're a terrible shot. That terrible shot of yours in the pool. I'm gonna beat you this time. Rah, rah, rah. Slim is very competitive. He doesn't forget either. He remembers. I'm not helping myself now, am I, Slim? No. So this one just came in the mail today. This is surprising. This was a Macari pickup. And it literally took a day to get to me. I mean, it was coming from New Jersey. But still, that is very quick. And hence, this is why I picked up that Reading hat, which I probably would have gotten anyhow because it's a hot hat. But we got the jersey. And another guy who's a... Okay, that's not... First I thought that was tissue paper in there. Like, uh-oh, here comes the tissue paper again. All right, let me get this up. Probably going to have to give this a bath, but nonetheless, it's a cool jersey. I don't know where to put these boxes anymore. I'm really running out of box space here. So that one I'm just going to place there. I gotta throw that stuff away. Yeah, so what we have here is we have the Reading Fightin' Phil's replica jersey right there. I'm probably going to have to wash this. But, interestingly enough, it is of Mr. Ranger Suarez. And there he is, one of the starting pitchers of the Phillies right now. And I don't know if this goes back to his days with the Reading Fightins, or if he had a rehab stint there and the guy got the jersey done then, the previous owner. So I'm not really sure. But either way, it's nice. It's something you don't see every day. And it was a pretty good deal. So, Reading Fightin' Phil's the AA affiliate to the Phillies. The Iron Pigs are the AAA affiliate. So, Ranger Suarez. So, Danger Ranger right there. There he is, number 55, double nickel. And that is his Reading Fightin' Phil's jersey. MightyFan deep dives in his collection, I'll tell you what. All right, let's see. We got one more package here on the counter. This is the hockey jersey. Now, I'm always worried about, I would always suggest if you mail jerseys, do it in a box. Like a priority mailbox. That's really the best way. I know Mr. Moon put them in these bags. I understand people do it. But I'm always a little worried when I open these because I don't want to cut the jersey. So I always give the bag a shake, hoping that the jersey goes down. Because I got to use these scissors to open. And I'm careful when I do. Give it a little cut. Make sure the jersey isn't up against the bag. Like right. It's happened where I almost cut the jersey. I came very close a couple times. Because even after giving the bag a shake, sometimes if the bag is a smaller bag, it's not. This is a little bigger, but if it's one of those smaller bags, it's still, even if you give it a shake, the jersey doesn't have a lot of room to move. And that first cut's always a little nerve-wracking. But all right, so here we go. So this is a little extra time, and we're going. This is like a little like Easter egg segment, if you will. So this is like a in the life iced segment in the ice series, in the life series, in the ice series. I need ice. It's starting a heat wave today. But anyhow, this is the recent pickup. This was a Poshmark pickup. So, actually got this for a really good deal the day after they won their second cup. So shout out to the Panthers and their fans. Man, I wish we never traded this guy. This was one of the worst trades in Flyers history. And this was before he won his Vezinas with the Columbus Blue Jackets and had the cups with the Panthers. He was a Flyer. And it was for a team, that franchise that's been looking for a goalie for so long, they had one. And then they traded him. But he is one of my top 5 favorite goalies of all time. I wish the Flyers never traded him. I thought it was a horrible move when it happened on draft night those years ago. Because I saw a lot of potential in him. Did I see Vezinas and Stanley Cups? Well, maybe I would be lying if I said so. But I thought he would be a really solid goalie here. And he's been a really solid goalie and a Hall of Fame goalie for the Panthers. And the Columbus probably made a worse decision than the Flyers because he had already won Vezinas with Columbus, but they just couldn't advance in the playoffs. He goes to the Panthers, and he was basically one of the final missing pieces. They've been a dominant team ever since. You know? Again, MightyFan's not always right, but when he is, he lets people know. So we got the Florida Panthers. Yeah, I had to get this because the deal was too good. And, you know, I'm more of a fan of their older Leaping Panther logo and jerseys. I really wish they would bring that back as an alternate. But the Penn State logo, that's what everyone calls it because it looks like the Penn State logo on the front. And it is a nice jersey. I mean, looking at it up close, yeah, I mean, it pops. You got the Florida. I like that they have the full Jaguar there, you know. Or the full Panther, I'm sorry, Jaguar. I see this and I still think Jaguars for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the Panther, you know, on top of the state of Florida flag. I do think it is still kind of interesting that they still call themselves the Florida Panthers because you got Tampa Bay there too. I know the Marlins changed their name from the Florida Marlins to the Miami Marlins, and maybe the Panthers will too at some point. Maybe they'll go with the Miami Panthers at some point. But as of now, as of the time of filming this video on June 21st, 2025, they are still the Florida Panthers, and now they're the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. What could have been? But no, so we got the Bob jersey. This is an Adidas, so this is just prior to this season where they switched over to Fanatics. And beautiful jersey. I tell you, there's a lot going on in this jersey. I never really looked at one of these up close. So, first time seeing one, and it's definitely a heater. I'm such a fan of the Leaping Panther logo, so I kind of wish that they would do that again. But it's a nice jersey. I'll give them credit. And I do still want to get one that has the alternate captain or the captain, because the other thing they did for those is they have another bar on top of, I think, one or maybe both sleeves that says alternate or captain over the Florida. So I still want to get one of those at some point. I don't know when. They're getting scarce, and usually when you see them, if the seller has an authentic, not this guy was very reasonable, but usually sellers who have authentic Panther jerseys, because the team is hot, they win, you know, they're popular, people want their stuff, right? So they want that money, you know, so, you know, it is what it is. Maybe I'll grab one from Cool Hockey at some point or something, I don't know, we'll figure it out. That's a down-the-road decision, unless I see one that has a good deal. But yeah, the Bob, Florida Panthers jersey. Very cool. I don't think I'm going to put a patch on there. I don't think I'm going to Stanley Cup patch it up. I think it looks good just as is. But, you know, very cool. And like I said, he's a top 5 goalie for me. Top 5 all-time favorite goalies. You know, the Flyers connection certainly there. So my top 5, in no particular order, are Bernie Parent, Ron Hextall, Dominic Hasek, the Dominator, Patrick Waugh, and Bob. So, you know, those are my top 5. I never saw Bernie play, but, I mean, obviously being a Flyer fan, knowing the history, seeing all the highlights of him, how can you not be a fan, right? So, Bernie, still in there. Hexie, who was one of my first favorite, my first Flyers goalie that I remember was Hextall. Of course, Dominic Hasek and Patrick Waugh, and of course Bob. Those round out the top 5. Again, no particular order, just those are my 5 favorites. There's others that came close to getting in there, but not quite knocking the door down. But anyhow, there's that. I'm going to run upstairs. I do apologize. I forgot to bring these downstairs. This is the Father's Day haul from Team Dunk. So I do want to get those jerseys, so bear with me. Yeah, I'm a little slow, so it might take me a little bit to get up and down the steps, but I'll do my best. All right, here we go. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. So many stairs. Back down. We're getting there. Come on, old knees, let's go. Down, down, down. Don't put the stairs in this house. I need an elevator. I need an escalator. I need my towel. Woo. Oh. All right. Now, the problem is I don't know where to put these. That's the problem. I think I see a spot. And again, I forgot a hanger, so we're going to be hangerless here, but that's okay. All right. So this is from the deal from Team Dunk, who, of course, is a member of all of our groups on Facebook. He was having a big blowout Father's Day deal as he does every year. Again, Mitchell Ness didn't have a sale, but it opened the door for other things, right? So I picked up this bad boy. We got the Pat Tillman Ripon Authentic Arizona Cardinals with the 100th, going back from their days in Chicago, where the Eagles won an NFL championship over one of those titles. Of course, they were in St. Louis. They were known as the Phoenix Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, where they are now. But, of course, Tillman, of course, a great American, of course, unfortunately passed away in friendly fire in the war. Of course, we all know his story. But terrific person, terrific football player, and a terrific jersey. So it's a Ripon Authentic. It does have the older NFL shield. Can take a look at that patch. If I can find a Cardinals hat with that on there, you know I'm going to be grabbing it for the combo one. But I get to get one, but not exactly the one with the patch. Here's the jock tag. Again, hit you with the back. Tillman 40. You know, the Cardinal jerseys are very plain Jane from this era, but the patch just pops on there. 40s on the sleeves. Yeah. And then for the combo wombo, I did grab this. This was part of the deal on Fanatics, just so I can have a Cardinals hat. You know me, the Pinwheel Power. So here we go with the Cardinal hat combo wombo for the jersey, and for some other Cardinal jerseys I have. There it is. It's the season hat from a few years ago, which I still haven't gotten enough of. I should have gotten more. They're still out there. All right, there's that one. Woo. Bear with me 1 second as I put Mr. Tillman over here with Bob and the others. That's a lot of jersey goodness on that chair. All right, so speaking of Mitchell and Ness, now these are the old gold Mitchell and Ness. Shout out to J-Dub for coining that phrase. This is the old stuff. This is the Peter era stuff. So we got that home white Detroit Pistons Bob McAdoo. Of course, it could also be an Isaiah Thomas draft night jersey. because if you know, you know, kind of deal. Isaiah, when he was drafted by the Pistons, held this jersey up because at the time they were just coming off a season where they wore this and they were going to wear it again, but then they rebranded right before the season to basically the bad boy jerseys, which Isaiah wore his whole career. So he never wore this on the court, but if you see a picture of him on draft night, he's holding up this particular style Pistons jersey. And it has 11 on there. So some people actually took this and made it into an Isaiah Thomas draft day picture jersey. 80-81 for McAdoo. But, you know, am I going to do that? No, probably not. You know, those are Piston fans deep diving. You stay classy, Detroit. Shout out to Big Baby and to others from the D. Holding it down there. I've always liked this style Pistons jersey, though. Kind of hope they bring it back as like a throwback or classic nights or whatever, Hardwood classic nights. There's Mr. McAdoo. I had the away blue for a few years now, so I needed to get that white, and that one's fake so much. And some of the fakes look good because they heat press them too. So they're not as easy to spot. So I made sure I knew that when Team Dunk was selling it, it was a good one because he doesn't sell fakes. So went ahead and grabbed it. I didn't have these in my collection. I've had the Alex Englishes in my collection for a while, but not the Kikis. So I had a chance to get the Kiki Vandaways. We have some Nuggets jerseys in this video, don't we? My goodness. So here we go. Of course, the Rainbow Skyline from back in the day. Double nickel, Vandaway, 55. Of course, Mutombo will wear 55 years later. In the Rainbow Skyline jersey, not this one, but the royal blue one. 83, 84 is your year. There's the triple tag. This is made in USA run. Very nice jersey. I do have the Alex English in this as well. I do not have the white version with the green trim for Alex. It's the only one I don't own of him. Sans the All-Star jersey. But maybe someday I will grab that one too. You know, the white with the green trim just to complete the set. Maybe the All-Star too someday, just to complete the set. And then, speaking of the set, this is the white version of which I don't have Alex, but I do have Kiki now. So, there you go. There's the white version. Kiki Vandaway Denver Nuggets home white with that unbeaten Denver skyline in the rainbow. Happy Pride Month to all out there. Think of rainbows, of course, you do think of the pride. So, I believe in everything. So, no hatred here for MightyFan. 83, 84 is the season on this guy. And again, a triple label. That's made in USA. Good old Peter Run days. Shout out to Peter Capolino, of course. Who made it all possible back in the day, right? So you always give shouts to him. Alrighty. Oh, you'd think that was it, but you'd be wrong. That was a lot. That was almost 40 minutes of pickups, but there's more because I'm a crazy son of a bitch. So anyhow, here we go. I need a drink first because all that heat, all the heat that I was showing. Woo! I hope your screens didn't melt on some of those jerseys. Woo! Never know what you're going to see in MightyFan's collection. Do stay hydrated out there, everyone, in this heat. Very important. I got the AC going, but as I've always said, I sweat in the shade, and I still sweat, so you know it is what it is. All right, let's get downstairs where the rest of the goodies are. What? Okay. God, that's a lot of boxes. Oh my God. If I showed you guys, Slim knows he was here, but if I showed you the boxes in that room, I have to get over and toss them in a bin because I can only put so much in my recycle bin every week. All right, downstairs where it is a little cooler. which is good. I actually needed blankets last night down here. It's like an ice box. An ice box. I'm not complaining. Because it's a sauna outside, so I'm not complaining about the ice box in here. Let me get my handy-dandy tripod. I will set this camera up in there, so bear with me here. Okay. Well, let's see if I can set this up in a good spot. I think that's pretty good. That's a nice backdrop there with the big Z-bottom rack of jersey goodness. Yes, it is. I think that will work. Slim, what do you think? I think this will work. So this is where I did imagine if we did do the vid together, Slim and I doing the video last week or a couple weeks ago, just best laid plans. But anyhow, we're here now. So let's get to the pickups that I have down here that I did not keep upstairs. And some things were already down here. Shout out again to the eBay dealer Donnie for this one. Slim got the Saquon, I got the BG. Of course, the Kelly Green, undefeated. The Eagles are undefeated in those since they went back to them a few years ago as their classic, throwback jerseys. And here's BG. Here's the authentic Brandon Graham. Shout out to Brandon Graham, all-time Eagle. His whole career was with the Eagles. Won 2 Super Bowls with the Eagles. Was a big part of those teams. Of course, the strip sack on Brady back in Super Bowl 52 and all the great years we had with BG. He just retired this offseason, so good luck in his retirement. I'm sure he's still going to be part of the organization in some way, or shape, or form. But here is his Kelly Green authentic. Beautiful. And we got these for such a great deal, so again, a huge shout out to Donnie. In Massachusetts, holding it down as an Eagle fan. Donnie, like I told you, don't let those Pat fans get to you. I know they're not as big Pat fans now as they were like years ago when they were winning. But don't let them try to get you, okay? And you can always remind them of Super Bowl 52. So, and then they'll remind about Super Bowl 39. But we got the last laugh. Anyhow, here it is, BG. Double nickel 55, authentic, Nike, Kelly Green. My second authentic Nike Kelly Green. I have AJ Brown and now BG. Oh, look, this one does have a hanger because I had it hung up. This was Ebbetsfield Flannels. I got this a bit back. They were doing like a 25% off deal. A minor league Walla Walla, Washington. That's a mouthful. Walla Walla, Washington Padres, Mr. Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith. I don't remember Ebbetsfield Flannels making these years ago, prior to the Fanatics buyout. But they did make Ozzie's minor league jersey, which is pretty cool, pullover. And the Wizard was one of my first favorite non-Phillies when I was growing up. So when he was at the Cardinals late in his career. So I have all of his Cardinal jerseys. I have his Padres jersey. Shout out to Sarge for that one. Mitchell and Ness. And now I had a chance. When I saw this available, I had to have it. His minor league jersey for the Walla Walla, Washington Padres, because he came up with the Padres. The O. Smith, of course, sold it for me too. That's just unbeatable with the letters, dot name. There you have the 2 W's for Walla Walla, or 3 W's for Walla Walla, Washington, or Walla Walla. Yeah, Walla Walla, Washington. And then you also have Northwest League Professional Baseball on the other sleeve right there. So this is like the style that the San Diego Padres was wearing back then. I have the 76 Dave Winfield that Mitchell and Ness made back in the day, a Peter era jersey, which basically is the same jersey style, only for the San Diego Padres. So, the Walla Walla Washington Padres did wear the same kind of style that the actual Padres were wearing back then. And also this is the jock tag, Ozzie Smith, number 11, Ebbetsfield flannel. Tag right there. Nice jersey. Excuse me. Nice jersey. And I also, of course, for Combo Wombo reasons, they had the hat, so to pair it up, I did get the Ebbetsfield Walla Walla Padres hat, satin green under, black gut. There they are together. Combo Wombo, of course. That's what we got to do. Like I said, I saw it. It was actually an ad on Facebook, which is how I saw it. And just so happens that they were running the sale. So I took advantage of getting that and the hat together. Ooh. There is a lot of heat here. There's a lot of heat in this pickup bid, right? We keep going. This was from another member in our Jersey Head community who actually customized this one himself, I believe. Forget the gentleman's name, but he was selling this on, I think it was King's, on Facebook. The Vladdy Sr. with the home with the Rocket Richard Memorial. Of course, Mitchell and Ness made the road a couple times. Not the home one yet, so I had a chance at the home one, and I took advantage. I got this a bit back. Expos, of course. Viva Expos. Because I need a lot of Expo jerseys. I know. They're starting to rival the Indians and the Oriole jerseys for non-Phillies baseball. But there you go. Guerrero 27 on the back, beautiful jersey. Glad to have it. I've wanted an authentic Vladdy Sr. for some time, so in the white version, because I do have the Mitchell and Ness Road one, even though they got the 27 a little too small. Too small on the front for the original run of it, but you know, it is what it is. It's still a nice jersey. I own it. I know they corrected it in recent years, but the original is still in the collection. All right, this was an eBay pickup, pretty cheap. Some weeks ago, we got the John Morant Memphis Grizzlies City Edition. They did the ode to that rap group from Memphis with this. They brought back the tribal band on the side and on the, on the side. Nice trim for the neck hole. John Morant, easy with the pictures there, Ja. Just continue to just do well and just have a good basketball career. No more crazy pictures. But Memphis, I think, is one of those teams that over the years, I think, have been very hit or miss with their City Edition jerseys. But this one I really liked, and I wanted to get back then. They just sold out so quick. This was probably one of their more popular City Edition jerseys. Had a chance to get one at a local Lids locker room years ago, and it was on clearance, and I just didn't pull the trigger. But I actually got this one a little cheaper years later on eBay, so it actually worked out. But yeah, John Morant, City Edition from some years ago. This Swingman version. This was another Fanatics pickup, just like I got the Baron Davis. This was on sale too, so figured I'd grab this guy because it's been on my list for a while. The Raptors number 14. That would be Mr. Muggsy Bogues. Someone asked me in a comment, excuse me, in a comment in one of my more recent vids if I would pick up like Hakeem Olajuwon, you know, Rockets, or Patrick Ewing, you know, Magic, or Sonics. Of course I would. You know, I like the oddballs too. You know, obviously you don't think Muggsy with the Raptors, you think Muggsy with the Hornets. But, you know, him as a Raptor, you know, it's an oddball jersey. I know Mitchell Ness made it. But I like the fact that they, even though it's a swing, I like the fact that they made a couple of the players when they were on the different teams. I know they made the Olajuwon, which is the same jersey, for the Raptors, and it is on my list. You know, like I said, with the swings, sometimes I slow ball them. You know, again, I don't have anything against them. I just kind of figured they'll be there. And sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes they sell out pretty quick. Other times it's like, yeah, they still have it. Okay, I can get it down the road, kind of thing. But when this was on sale, as cheap as it was on Fanatics, I had to grab it because it was on my list to get, and I had to have it. So 1999-2000 Muggsy Bogues. Toronto Raptors swingman Mitchell Ness. There you go. And of course, when you see this jersey, you instantly think of Vince, right? This is the Vince Carter era Raptors. But yeah, Hakeem played then. Muggsy. There were a couple guys that were on that team that you think of from other teams. Just like if you would see like a Vince Carter, you know, the Memphis Grizzlies, you would still think of him more as a Raptor. You know, one of those things. This was a cheap eBay pickup. Kind of like just a pal-around jersey for me. I know the Pacers forced a Game 7 in the finals against the Thunder. I look forward to that tomorrow night. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it's not a blowout, one way or the other. Indiana Pacers, Jermaine O'Neal, the Hardwood Classics. This is the not the Mitchell Ness version, so this is the OG. Swingman. Nice jersey. I did like these when they wore them back in the day. I still want to get a Ron Artest at some point. I know Mitchell Ness made these too, so maybe I'll either get the OG or I'll get the Mitchell Ness version. They only made them in Swingman, so this is the original Nike Swingman. But like I said, Mitchell Ness made these too for their Swingman line. So there's the Jermaine O'Neal. This one I actually got when Slim was here from eBay. Really nice jersey. And shout out to Slim for alerting me to this one. The Aaron Donald, one of the all-time great defensive tackles. Of course, we have a pretty good one in our nest here with Mr. Carter. But Aaron Donald, you know, of course, retired a few years ago, Super Bowl champion. This does not have the Super Bowl logo on it, but this is the jersey they wore, the style they wore when they beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl some years ago. Rams logo on the back. Donald 99. This is my favorite current Rams jersey. I don't like the bone white one. It's just too plain Jane. This one pops. The yellow and the blue on the sleeves. And of course, I have a nice memory with these jerseys because the Eagles beat them in these jerseys in the snow game on the way to the Eagles winning the Super Bowl this past season in the closest game in the playoffs for the Eagles. Well, the Rams, I have a lot of respect for that team and how they played in that game. And, you know, Mr. Donald was not part of that team, but when I see this jersey, I'll still have a nice little memory of the snow in Philly and the Eagles winning that game to go to the NFC title game and then eventually the Super Bowl 59 where they took care of business. Another kind of pal-around jersey. This is a Cooperstown collection. I have the Mitchell and Ness with the USA run with just a 72 on the back. Still really like that jersey, but, you know, just to be a completist. I got the Cooperstown collection. Chicago White Sox, my favorite all-time White Sox jersey. Mr. Fisk, 72. There it is with his name, 72. It does not have the patch on the sleeve, but that's okay. It's a Cooperstown collection jersey, majestic, from back in the day. There's the chalk tag. Classic White Sox jersey. And I did get the hat to go with it. And the other Mitchell Ness ones that I have. And the Flex Fit. There it is. I think this was a Poshmark pickup. Because I got this around the same time I got the jersey. The jersey was Poshmark too. So it was a pretty good deal for both. Different sellers, but same era. Oh, we're not done yet. You thought we were. We're not done yet. Almost there, though. I think there's only a few more. You know, this is one of those mysteries of life of why I didn't get this earlier. I really couldn't tell you why. I need a towel off again. But it's just, I don't know, maybe just plain Jane. I have other Niner jerseys. I just, in this style. But I saw one on eBay. It was a good deal. I verified with Slim that it was a legit, because they make a lot of fakes of this. So I finally got myself the road, or the home, rather the home, because I've had the road. I had the road Montana for a number of years, the heat press one that Mitchell Ness made years ago. But this is the famous home one. Of course, you think about, you know, the throw for the catch, you know. For Dwight Clark, you think of all the great moments that they won in the red, either at Candlestick or in the Super Bowl. So, Montana, the original GOAT. There you go. Classic jersey. It's just one of those that I couldn't tell you why I didn't have this one in the collection sooner. It just, for one reason or another, I didn't. I had the white one, but I knew eventually I would get the red one because it's just the classic. You know, you instantly know what it is when you see it. You don't even have to see the name on the back. Yeah, Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers, 1989. The number. Another summer. Sound of the fucking drummer. Anyhow, this is a Korea run. So there you go. A little shout out to PE back there, too. There it is. Sing it while I'm swinging. Speaking of guys we did beat in the Super Bowl. Come on, Tom! And this guy, most recently, this is not a Super Bowl 59 jersey, though. This is, I believe this is a Super Bowl 54, if I'm not mistaken. Guy was selling this in the groups on Facebook, and Slim, he knew I was going to get this. He's like, I don't know how you didn't get it the day before. He said, you look at that jersey, it has flair, authentic. I know you. You're going to get it. And then the next day I got it. So, shout out to Justin for this bad boy right here. Authentic Nike. This is Pat Mahomes, of course, who we did take. He got us, and then we got him. So just like Tom, he got us, and then we got him. So Mr. Mahomes, he got us, and then we got him. Ooh, we got him. This last one. So there you go. But it does have the Super Bowl 54 patch, authentic patch on there. It has the captaincy with the 2-star. Mahomes was a 2-star captain that year. You have the Lamar Hunt that Chiefs just continue to wear. Yeah, your home Chiefs jersey is such a classic jersey, no matter what. Classic jersey right there. It does have the sleeve cuff, cut to the cuffs that Nike does, but it is what it is. Mahomes 15 on the back, and it also has the NFL 100th that they did as a as a stamp instead of really promoting it. But there they had it on the collar. Unlike in '94 when they had the big beautiful patch. For 100, they're like, it still looks nice though. It's an extra, and you'll always know that that's the first Super Bowl that the Chiefs won in this era. Of course, they did win back in the 60s with, matriculating the ball down the field. Lenny Dawson and company, Hank Stram, of course. But this was the first title of the Andy Reid era, Pat Mahomes era Chiefs. I'm sorry to Niner fans. I know it's a sore subject. Rez, Bay Area, Angel. I know. But if you took notes, now you know how to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I can't tell you all the Niner fans that I'm friends with, right? Before the Super Bowl, they all wrote me, and they were like, look, just please beat the Chiefs. They just wanted to see the Chiefs lose so badly, because obviously they got the Niners a couple times, right? And they did get us in Super Bowl 57. So I wanted the Chiefs. Slim will tell you. That whole playoffs, that's all I can think of. As long as the Eagles just do their job, I wanted Kansas City. I didn't want any other team but them. I wanted that damn revenge. And boy, did we get it. So, I didn't expect it like that, but I took it. But yeah, beautiful jersey though. I just, you can't go wrong with just the classics, right? Anyhow, avert your eyes, Rez. I know, Bay Areas. I know that one was tough. But I did show Montana, so you see, we had the good and then we had the bad. So we kind of did the yin and yang there. But it is what it is. I don't think I would get a Super Bowl 57, Mahomes. I don't know if that's going to happen. But 54, okay. Yeah, all right. Is what it is. Look, this channel is to entertain. Okay, that's what it is. See me sweating everywhere and just Even in the cool of the basement, and oh boy, that was a lot to show. Even I surprised myself with that one. That was a marathon. That was a marathon. So I hope you all enjoyed this hour plus of pickups with MightyFan on the life. Yeah, Slim, I still have this damn call. It comes and goes. It is what I'm fine. I'm not, despite the sweat and the cough and the, I'm doing okay. I still got this heart monitor on me. I guess it really must have been going crazy when I was showing this stuff. Like, ooh, boop, 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 boop. His heart's growing up. I'm surprised I didn't get a call from the hospital. What the hell's going on? I'm showing jerseys on YouTube. I wonder if they'll ever show me, like, the results. And, like, Saturday at, what time is this now? Between 3 and 4. How the spikes must have been going up. That was a lot to show, though. Oh, my goodness. But if you enjoyed this video, and even if you didn't, what do you always have to do? Make sure you leave those likes. Like. We need many likes, right? Make sure that you subscribe. If you haven't already done so, again, we're looking to hit the 2K mark on the channel. We're going to get there with your help, and I thank all my supporters and my subscribers to this point. You're all making this possible, so I thank you all very much. And hit that bell icon. Hit the bell icon so you get notified all future content from your sweaty selves, truly, right? So you never want to miss an episode. We do have an episode of In the Life Iced, a real episode of In the Life Iced coming up, hopefully before the end of next week. I got to get over to Maryland for Slim's birthday, so I'm hoping to get that out before that. But at any rate, be on the lookout for that. The Bob will not be part of it because I slipped it into this one. Just a little. The bag was there. I had to open it, but anyhow, I hope you all enjoyed this and a little extra as well. We went to the ice because it's hot. We need some cool. Think hockey. Think cool. Yeah. See, I have my reasons. They're wacky, but I have them. All right. Well, I'm going to put all this stuff away. This is a lot, though. My goodness. What kind of person does this? Me. I'm not ashamed. And that's going to do it for me. For real this time. But I thank you all for watching and tuning in. And you always have to do it right. You have to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. It's free. So why aren't you doing it if you haven't done it? Do it! All right, everyone. I will see you all in the next episode of In the Life with MightyFan. Like I said, we have an In the Life Iced coming up. Hopefully within the next few days, we'll pump that one out after I completely get over this one. This was a marathon. Whew! I'm not going to need those blankets tonight. Oh. Anyhow, I will see you all in the next one. You all take care and keep cool out there, everyone. All right. MightyFan signing off for now. Bye. I got to get a shower. Oh.